Testing. Good to go. Good evening. Welcome back. It's only been a couple of hours, but for the people that are new, welcome. Welcome. If you don't know, we are talking about life abroad. You may be thinking about it, but we're going to get into some real conversations tonight. I implore you to share this with somebody that may be looking to move abroad. What that may look like for somebody. We're going to get into what you guys may be experiencing in the United States and why you may want to go, as well as some truths behind what are going to experience should you actually go about moving abroad, because that is a different pack up. Like a lot of people know that they're going to pack their things and are going to move to a different place. But a lot of people aren't really aware of what they're going through now, how that's going to feel when you are no longer going through it. So, if you guys don't know, my name is RJ. I am originally from Philadelphia, moved here from South Florida 2 years ago, and here is actually Medellin, Colombia. So each night around this time, depending on what I have going on, but do try to be around the same time, unless I happen to be traveling, we get on and talk about not only the steps that you need to take to move abroad. There's not a lot of people giving you step by step information on how to do so. But what we also do is we get into the tough conversations, the things that you might not know about, the things that you need to be brought up to speed on and get access into as far as information. Because a lot of you guys, depending on where you're looking, I am on probably 5 to 6 different platforms at this one point. However, I will tell you, so many people are going from TikTok to Terminal. And that's no shade to the folks on TikTok, but I say that is because anywhere you are watching this, if you don't recognize that person as somebody that consistently gives you valuable information, not just things that will go viral, I mean, like real things you can unpack, you can sit with, that you can learn, then you need to understand that in this day and age, we're in a microwave society, in a scenario where a lot of people are getting instant gratification and going directly from TikTok to Terminal, and not realizing that is the worst strategy when looking, one, to travel, and two, to move abroad, because these people aren't getting into what the nitty gritty is. So Mondays we do how I moved and why I moved. We did that yesterday. Tuesdays we get into mental health, and mental health is important in two aspects. One, I've realized that some people may not be able to move abroad. I get that, but you can still start with some things. Some of the things you're going to hear on this platform, whether it's today or over the next couple of days, they're designed to wake you up. They're designed to wake you up. They're designed to put you in a scenario where you now look at what is considered normal as no longer normal. You would be surprised at how many things you guys have now normalized that at one point caused a knee jerk reaction in you. And that's when we talk about the mental health that Americans have to deal with. Yesterday I said, if you are in America and you're watching this, because I doubt if the 1% was watching me yesterday, you are in the American rat race. You're there. Welcome. Bienvenidos. But you have to realize that besides the American rat race, there is the mental rat race that has to go on in the United States. So many things that used to be cause for alarm are no longer a leading cause for alarm anymore. What do you mean? Well, think about it. Remember when, depending on how old you are, before 9/11, there were no bag fees and for airports, like when you got on a plane. You could go all the way up and like see your friend, loved one off at the gate. Now you pay for bags a lot, depending on how many bags you have on every trip. First, it was, we're gonna get the business back. and give them some money, some sort of stimulus. But once you turn on the money light, especially in a place like America, it's never going off. But maybe that wasn't that extreme for you. Okay, no problem, no problem. You guys are now living in a place where a bag of groceries is $100, give or take. I saw on Facebook it was talking about the prices of eggs, and people were chiming in on how much a dozen eggs cost and where. And now it was never mind, everybody was giving bad prices. It was more so who has the hookup? Where in my city or my neighborhood can I go to get the best prices on eggs? Eggs, people. Now, when I tell people in Colombia that you can go and you can actually work a full-time job and still not have enough money to not be homeless, they kind of like screw their face up and say, how is it even possible? How many people are one paycheck away? We're talking about mental health, but these are things that are weighing, going to possibly weigh on whether or not you're happy with your quality of life, whether or not you get up to every day and feel fulfilled in the things that you have limited access to do, because you got to go to work every day. You might have to pick up another job just to make ends meet. It's very interesting what it is that mental health looks like in the United States, because I said this the other day, and it really means a lot when you think about it. You really don't know how heavy the baggage is in the United States until you walk away from it, and then you go live somewhere else that does not have that baggage, and then you might not fully understand it. But the moment you are forced to choose to go back and pick that baggage up, knowing what that baggage doesn't feels like, not having it, you realize how hard it could possibly be to go back into that scenario. Not saying that people don't go back. I would be remiss to that'd be a complete lie. Complete lie. Some people go back. Some people don't have a good time. Some people aren't open for certain things. There's a myriad of reasons why people may go back after living abroad. Some people may have an emergency, some sort of family situation, job, those kind of things. I'm not talking about those people, but I'm talking about some people may actually just go back. But when you do go back, even if you're like, you know what, I'm done, the first couple of days, maybe even weeks, depending on how long you're going, it's going to be different. Even when I go home now, hearing Americans, and not even just English, but hearing how Americans interact with each other, uh, seeing how Americans interact with each other, it's an immediate like, oh yeah, I'm back. I am back in the United States of America. This is different. I'm used to people walking down the street and saying, no, hola, buenos días, ¿cómo estás? Nobody says anything. Nobody even looks at each other's eyes. Everybody's like, head down. Let me get to work. Let me do this. Let me do that. Because that's what you have the ability to do. Nobody has time to be a part of a neighborhood or be a part of community anymore, because community is no longer in the forefront of society in the United States. It's more so, what can I make? What can someone do for me? So many people say this, and it's like, Americans, it's crazy when you get out and you look back at it, because I've heard so many times people in like places, and it's like, I won't help you. I won't help you because nobody helped me. But if you're in the room with me, shout out to you, no community. There's no community there. And this, you guys see it so much. When's the last time you've been to a block party if you come from a block party culture? When's the last good cookout that you had with your friends and it was an impromptu one? Now, you guys might be doing this, but I know I'm talking to some people that is like, man, it's been a little while. All of those things, the people that remember them, it can feel nostalgic, but it can also be like, well, where did that go? You guys don't even realize what individual things that could be weighing on your mental health because you had to get used to them. I remember when I was a kid and they had the first mass incident at a school, and then people were like, oh, never again, never again. Now they just teach you how to possibly survive it. That's not normal in other places that Americans would deem third world countries. That's not normal. But there it is. And you don't even know what that feels like when, I was out and I heard some we were at a very loud place and I was yelling almost to my friends and we were laughing about that. But then I heard like even through the yelling, through the noise, I heard like a sound that was like screaming, and I kept like looking over. And my boy AJ is like, "Yeah, you're not there anymore." And I knew exactly what he was talking about, and I didn't realize that I looked like that. But I was thinking that somebody was in danger. Somebody might come in here and do something because that is what America breeds you to think at this point. You can go to the grocery store, you can go to church, you can go anywhere, and those things can happen to you. That's not normal, y'all. Literally, I was supposed to be in New Orleans. It was New Orleans or Mexico. New Orleans or Mexico. Chose Mexico. I would have been right there. Maybe we would not have this conversation right now. Y'all realize how crazy that is? Because I would have definitely been right there, like, or in very close vicinity for certain. And I don't even live there anymore. And that could have happened on a vacation, trying to enjoy myself in my favorite city. Do you see how crazy that is? That's not normal. Y'all ask me, am I safe? Hey, bro, you safe in Colombia? Is it safe? Why would I leave a place like America and go somewhere worse than America? I might as well just stay there. So when we talk about, your mental health in the United States, you guys got to realize what it is you're going through. And not saying it's like, well, what do you want us to do about it? It's not a lot you can do. I mean, especially if you can't move. If you can't move, the only thing you can do is start listening to the other things that we talk about. Trading all your time for stuff and things, because people talk about this all the time. My dad hits me with the I'm getting into retail therapy. How many of you guys, when y'all get sad, y'all go shopping? At this point, Jeff Bezos make it easy. You can order it at 8 a.m. and it be there by 4. Man, I need to go get a new outfit because that's gonna make me feel good. Then you get it and it's done. Over. And you keep going and looking for almost like a fiend. You're looking for a fix. You're looking for a fix to give you happiness in a place where your happiness is not designed. You're a part of the machine. You are literally there to make money. You are making money, but how much are you making? The more money you make, the more they increase, and not at the rate that you're getting the money. If it's a 6% inflation cost, are they giving you a 6% raise every year? Would you believe in Colombia that everybody gets a raise every year? Why do y'all keep thinking everywhere else is a third world country? So when we look at these things, I'm saying some certain statements to wake you up. Because the cadence of America seems very, very easy to fall in line with. It gives you such a certainty in this ability to feel like everything's good. Meanwhile, you are literally like treading water and starting to take on a little water. But they're like, nah, everything's straight. You're like, am I going crazy? Because this don't feel like everything is good. But here we go. $100 bag of groceries. I literally looked at an article today, and I got some stuff coming out about that because I got to give you guys awareness. It's not to scare you, it's to aware you, because so many people are walking around with sunglasses on in this rose-colored universe that they call the snow globe of the United States. And it's time to wake up. It's now. It's already been time. I've been going for 2 years. I knew what time it was. I was faced with the opportunity to leave, and I said, I had to think about it. I had to sit with it. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to keep doing this again. I didn't learn my lesson. And then it all came back right around. Like, we are literally 13 days away from what most people thought we would never, ever see again. And it's normal. It's normal. I am in Medellin, Colombia. So been out here for 2 years. And these conversations aren't necessarily, some of the conversations and some of the topics are designed specifically for Medellin, Colombia. We do relocation tours out here. So give you guys the opportunity to, one, see this place, find the neighborhoods that you want to live in, meet with local experts in real estate, immigration, healthcare, language experts. We've literally pre-vetted all of these resources and put them in front of you. And they're already on our website. So we'll get that information to you guys. It's moodtravelcolombia.com, 2 O's in mood, 2 O's in Colombia. But go there. There's plenty of free things on there that you can take advantage of if Colombia is on your radar. However, this conversation is not isolated to Medellin. Listen, I know some of y'all can't leave. All right. But you can stop spending all your time for stuff and things. I gave y'all the equation. It's real simple. Literally, if you take $30 an hour and you make that and you take that home, not before taxes, and after, I'm talking about after taxes, $30 an hour. You need to spend 17 hours at work in order to spend $500. When you do the math, you guys aren't trading your actual time that you have on this earth, and none of it is actually like given to us for a long time. I've already lost people. I'm already 37 years old. And we're supposed to make it to 60 to 70 with what? They already telling you Social Security ain't gonna work when we get that age. I got my old heads literally telling me, "Yo, they're gonna give me $1,500, and I get $200 more if I stay on for another 2 years. $200 in 2 years is going to you. That is going to be nothing. What are we doing? You got to take control of your life. I keep telling y'all, too many of us in America, because America makes it real easy for you to get into the rat race, get into the mundaneness, to wake up and go back to sleep, wake up and go back to sleep, and nothing ever changes. Y'all been in the passenger seat and it's your car. You let somebody drive your car and you don't even know. You just sitting there just we America is great. They telling y'all they gotta make it again. I need y'all to wake up, because that's the first thing. Even if you can't leave, you got to wake up and realize what's going on around you, and then from there you got to choose to do something different. So I know what you guys are going through there. I went through it. I worry about my family and my friends that are back at home, because I know how it is. I almost went home and went to back to New Orleans and was a part of the BS that I'm telling y'all got to leave behind. That's crazy. That's crazy. So your mental health, you gotta like these conversations are designed to wake you up, because some of y'all are like, I ain't got no mental health problems, and it's like, do you stress it? Whether or not you one paycheck away, or if you lose your job, can you pay your rent? Do you have enough saved? So many people are looking to buy houses and can't buy a house because the corporations are buying them. Like, these are all things that you have to wake up, and you might sleep in the middle of the night and be weighing on you. A lot of these things aren't normal at all. So many people get asked all the time, my age, where's your kids? You know how much it costs to raise a child? Shout out to Sherelle. We had Sherelle on. Sherelle was a parent. So we also bring not only my information, because I don't know it all. So we bring other expats that have already made the move, that have, veterans, parents with children that live out here, people that live in other countries that may be on your radar. That way you have a resource and you can go somewhere and you're like, okay, I can get some information that I can utilize, and then I can start my legwork from some people that know what they're talking about. But literally, Sherelle was on here and she said, I moved from New York and I had a little tiny place, and it was nothing. And then I got here, and my place is nice. She said she was sending her kids to school. She had a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. She said she sends them to school 3 times a week, 8 hours on Monday and Wednesday, and 4 hours on Friday. She said that for 2 kids, swimming lessons twice a week, and I believe it was jujitsu, $500 total. You can't even find a babysitter for one child, let alone jujitsu classes and multiple swimming classes. Those are the things that Americans have to wake up and consider. Daycare costs keep extremely rising. So once you get the kid, and then you got to literally go back to work to be able to pay more than your mortgage just to put the kid in daycare. But I know how the daycare works. You send them around a bunch of other kids, they get sick. You don't get a break from paying that. You have to still keep paying. When are you going to ever break out of a cycle that is never designed to break out of a cycle? So it's just like, these conversations are designed to wake you up. Hopefully you have the opportunity to move abroad, because you will quickly see life that was sold to you and told to you was a whole lie. I told y'all yesterday, they say America is the best country in the whole world. I ask you, for who? Is it for you? Because you aren't all of America. Y'all not even operating like a community. So if you're going to stand by yourself, then stand on it. But seriously, is America the best place for you? Has it given you the best return? Could you see a return? And I will tell you, America definitely comes with privileges. This is not the conversation where I'm saying if you live in America, you don't have any privileges. You got a lot of privileges, but you need to go and start driving and say, okay, what means the world to me? Honestly, my job wasn't to work my entire life and then retire at 70 years old and then try to start seeing the world. I also knew that the rate of money, they just kept raising things, and I was making good money. They just kept raising things, and I'm like, I'm spending 5 figures just to say, way more than five, yeah, 5 figures just to say I have a house, I have a car, I can afford a bag of groceries, I have some money put aside, something invested. Like there was it just started getting inching and inching closer and closer. So these conversations regarding is it cold for you? Not at all. In Medellin, it is the city of eternal spring. It is always 70 to 80 degrees all year. So, yeah, that's another reason why I left because I'm from Philadelphia right now. I literally hung up from my father before I got on the phone, and he was like, "It's so cold. It's snow. It's like the Arctic." I got on multiple layers, and I'm like, the whole time I'm just like, no, no. I'm like, if I had to go to that weather, I would have to go all the way back to Florida just to get a coat that hasn't been worn in 2.5 years. So if you see me with a big coat and it smells like a storage unit, don't hate. It's been in the storage. I don't need that. And I don't want to live there like that. So like there were so many things. I was a person that experienced seasonal depression. Are you living where you don't see the sun? I didn't realize how much I needed the sun in my life until I moved to Florida, and then I had to move back to Philadelphia, and I was like, I have to get out of here immediately. I am not happy. Listen, I'm 37. I've been bald since I was 24. You talking about stress of America? Come on now, honesty hour, honesty hour. Seriously, I was seasonally depressed. So many of y'all probably going through that right now. My folks be like, you should move back to Philadelphia. Every time I talk to y'all, y'all talk about how y'all want to go somewhere else. Why do y'all want me just to be in proximity? Y'all want to just like keep an eye on me? You can keep an eye on me. Look, I'm on 6 different platforms right now. What you mean you can't keep no eye on me? I'm right here. You're going to get that too. Because the moment you go and you say, I'm about to leave, everybody is going to say you are crazy. They're going to say it. You must be out of your mind moving out of the United States. You must be out of your mind. Keeps repeating the same cycle that you seen your mother and her mother and their mother and your father and all of them people. They did the exact same thing and they got you to where? You telling me that I'm crazy for trying to break the cycle of what America try to say this is what your family tree is going to be and this is what your lineage is going to be? Nope. Hard left. Hard left. Hard left. So if you guys don't know, we talk about mood. You see it everywhere. Mood is making our own destiny, and I really live by that. It gives you the opportunity, and it's for everybody. That's why it's out in the world. But it really gives you the opportunity to break out of the boxes that America will put you in, that your family will put you in, that you might even put yourself in, and say, "Yo, you can do something different." And it might be like everybody might call you crazy, but nobody ever did anything great living comfortably. And you've been comfortable for a long time. And if you've been sitting here for longer than 30, 40 seconds and sitting here listening, that means something caught your ear. Somebody saying, hey, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time. I don't know what more time that you guys need. The article that I saved earlier said that Consumer goods in 2025 could be going up 20 to 25%. Did you guys get a raise that y'all don't know about that is going to cover 25% of your basic consumer goods that you need? I get people that message me and say, I'm considering leaving because I don't know in the next few years if I'm even going to be able to afford where I live at today. So, covered that portion. We know what you're dealing with now. Maybe you know what you're dealing with now. Maybe I said something. Does it snow? No, it never snows here. City of Eternal Spring. Always 70 to 80 degrees all year long. You want snow and cold, you can go to Bogota. However, Medellin is out. I mean, it's January. In August, it's just like this. It's a mountain city. So the temperature never changes. I mean, there's a rain season, but it rains all year long, but it just rains maybe, an hour and then it stops. But that's why it's so green here, so mountainous. So there's people, depending on where you're watching it, asking comments. I can only see the comments on TikTok and Instagram. However, I'm certain there's other people asking questions. But I'll tell you guys, that is the left side of it. One, the part of you leaving, and these are maybe the reasons why. But the right side of it, as far as when you move abroad, that's a different set of mental health that you have to talk about because you don't know yet, and most people won't tell you. Okay. It's a reminder from them. I guess I can't say certain words, so I'll stare around the M word. That way we don't have any things. They don't want y'all TikTok getting any truth, honestly. But I'll steer away from saying explicit words. But that's why. Um, when you leave, when you go to move abroad, relocate, packed up all your stuff, you went on a relocation tour, you determined this is where I want to be. Thursdays we talk about what they lied to you about with the stuff and things. But the one of the biggest things that I wasn't prepared for was when I went to finally move abroad and packed everything that I owned, I had to determine what I could take. I didn't know that I was going to struggle with what to take because I couldn't take it all. My life had been so consumed with consuming stuff and things. I felt like a hoarder. I mean, everybody goes through that, right? The last time you moved and you had to put all your house, your rented house, whatever the case is, back into the shape that it is for selling or renting again, you realize how much stuff you had. Most of us in America don't live like minimalist because we need this to be happy. It's my stuff. It's my things. I need this. So that's one of the first hurdles. Before you even get to the airport, what are you going to take? So that's on the right side. Like I said, we've decided. You've already decided, but that right there, that's going to be a tough one. I sat in a circle with all my stuff and things. It was like I don't know what shoes to take, what shirts to take. That's what I say. Y'all might see me. I'm on here. I'm 5 days a week. You're going to eventually see me in the same shirt, and I don't care. I don't care anymore. I did at one point. That's why all that stuff and things, and I just don't care. It's just not my concern anymore. My life is a lot happier without a bunch of stuff and things. But that's the first hurdle you're going to run into. The other hurdle that I don't think people will honestly tell you about, and this may be to a marginalized few, but it's to the right few. One of the things that I didn't realize I always knew this. I never really in America, and this is honest, as a black man, I never really felt American. During the Olympics, for sure, Team USA, let's go. But I never really felt that way. However, when I got to Colombia, I immediately realized that there was a privilege that I had no access to back at home at all. And I was literally sitting there like, what is this? I was not expecting that. So it's not about just, I wouldn't say that's a good thing because there's nuances within that, but I was not expecting that. So I had to sit and think with that and literally consider what that meant. Like what if I would have lived my life never seeing like the other side of the coin? I mean, if you don't know what you don't know, but knowing now, it was something I was like, this is interesting. This is very interesting. So it was one of the things that I think many of you who move abroad will encounter, especially if you move into a place like Colombia or like a mostly Spanish speaking place, because you would be surprised how quickly they're going to be like, oh, you're American. Immediately. Like I can spot an American now. Like I've never seen one. My friends were laughing at me. I said they were talking trash about me before I got on here, and I literally was like, he asked me like, you don't cook all the time, and I'm like, bro, I'm on live 5 days a week. Like by the time I get off, I'm on live talking to you Americans about why y'all should leave. And he's like, oh, we're the Americans now. And I'm like, JK, but it's so funny. I can hear Americans. They just when you just have America on you, you carry yourself in a certain way that when you get out into the world has a different cadence than what the world offers. Now I carry myself in a different way, yet I'm still American. There's nothing I can do about that. But what I'm saying is, these are the nuances of moving abroad that you aren't really prepared for because nobody talks about this stuff. Nobody actually gives you some real insight. And I'm only a guy. I can only imagine because there are so many single women that are out here of all races, but there are a lot of single black women that are out here living. They came by themselves. So one, that'll tell you about how safe it could possibly be. So they're not going to be in a place where it won't be any safety. Two, um, that will also that also brings up another thing because for the people that are moving abroad, I will tell you, we talk about some of the stuff you got to do to unpack America and America's baggage before you leave. Because please do not bring American expectations with you on road. Please don't. You are going to be sadly disappointed, sadly, and not welcomed because you're not in America anymore, Dorothy. You can click your little hills and book your little flight and go back there. I now get that because so many people try to want everywhere to be just like America, just another place. Some places cater to that. Places like Colombia, they're not catering to that. This is Colombia, and you're going to enjoy it. But you need to come with an open mind. That is why I say you need to shed some of that baggage that you guys have. Some of the stuff that I might have pointed out today that you say, dang, I wasn't even thinking about that. I didn't even think about me living every day like I'm one missed paycheck away from this whole thing blown up. You might be the best employee, but none of this stuff is in your control. Real life, y'all. So these are the things when you come abroad, you have to unpack. And what also needs to happen, you need to come with an open mind and you need to come. And I'm saying this straightforward and straight to you. I don't care if you are an introvert in the United States. I don't care. Do not come abroad because what happens is this. You come, live abroad, you spend 2, 3 months in a place. You don't go out one time. You don't know one word of this local language. You haven't even downloaded any local apps. Maybe you downloaded Rappi, which is like they deliver damn near everything. But maybe you downloaded that and you just been ordering that. Then you go home and you say, "How was it?" You say, "Man, it was all right." Why would you do that? Yet so many people, so many things that are on viral social media is people that were like that. People that put it in Chat GPT and let some artificial intelligence tell them to go somewhere and that they don't need a local guide or go somewhere and this was the exact itinerary you need, or you got an itinerary from an influencer, but the influencer only spent 48 hours, took specific videos and pictures and then left, and then turned around and told you this is the itinerary that you need. And then you went and followed that because you went from TikTok to terminal, and then you didn't have a good time. Wonder why. So you guys got to do some legwork to go outside. We talk about this a little bit later in the week, but the homework necessary to do to figure out where you want to go. This might be your first time hearing it, and it won't be the last time hearing it on this platform. But you guys are not Nas and Belly. Y'all just can't go to Africa, my boy. Y'all need to go to a place in Africa, like a country. And once you get down to the country, you need to get down to the city. And once you get down to the city, you need to get down to the actual neighborhood. Because you could have the best time of your life. You could actually better your quality of life. But if you come with America's baggage, if you come with introvertedness and you're not willing to get out and meet locals and or meet other expats that may already be able to hip you onto some things that may take you 3-4 months to find out, you're going to have a bad time. So that comes into play when we talk about what can you do with your MH while you're abroad. So many places abroad are set up where you can go out in nature. I told you, this is mountains. It's the city of eternal spring. It's always nice out here. It's beautiful. During the daytime, I can sit out here and I can see actual the parrots you see at the zoo. They out freely. Freely. Fruit grows on the trees in the city. Let me tell y'all about fruit growing on trees in the city, and this is how I tell y'all that y'all don't even know that y'all stressed out. Do you guys remember? And it depends on where you live at, but do you remember when certain cities were like covered in pollen, just pollen everywhere? It was on the streets, it was on the cars. You just couldn't get it off. It was no use even washing your car. Do y'all know why that is? So if you guys don't know anything about plants, and I talked about fruit growing on the trees, the only fruit-bearing trees are female plants. Because America is so worried about how much money they can make off of you, do you guys actually know that they just keep planting male trees? That's why everybody's allergies just keep getting worse. That's why you're seeing cities covered in pollen, because there's a whole bunch of fertilizers and nothing to fertilize. All of that pollen was supposed to go on another tree and it was supposed to cross pollinate and bear fruit. And it's not bearing fruit in natural environments because that's capitalism. You don't even realize that your daggone lungs are all caught up in and your allergies are caught up in a capitalist struggle because they keep planting male trees. And you tell me that you're not stressed right now? That's what I said. So many of the things you don't even know that you're stressed or why you're stressed. You just think it's just how the world works. Nah. People look at me horrified when I tell them the things that we consider normal. You know, one of my drivers, he came and he picked me up from the airport and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I heard about what happened in New Orleans." And I was like, "Yeah, man, that was crazy." But then I told him about what happened in New York and what happened in Las Vegas. He's like, "I didn't hear about that." And I'm like, "Yeah, because it's just too much to cover. 3 in 2 days, in the first 2 days of the year. What are you going to do with that? Is that's how the year starts off and you got 13 days left. And yesterday was 3 years from, it's just getting like normalized and we don't even realize that we're going through something. So one, don't bring that abroad with you because it's not like that. And you will gladly find out how much not like it is. But two, you also got to take into consideration that you have to go outside to experience it. Your mental health will be in sorry, I can't say the M word. MH will be in so much better shape because you can go outside and it's beautiful. You can hear screams and it's not an opportunity to go and run from danger. It's kids playing outside because kids play outside. They don't just plop them in front of a tablet and say, here, go raise yourself. Miss Frankie will tell you all that you need to know. The new place I'm moving to, I'm so excited. I didn't even know a place like this existed. There's so many neighborhoods here. I've only seen and lived in some of them, but it's so many here in Medellin. And it's like, I was outside yesterday and I saw something that you don't often see in the United States. It was the building that I was saying that it's a skate park there. There's massive park. It's near a museum. These guys were they were having birthday parties outside on a Monday, like at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Like families were out. Like people were had just brought like picnic blankets, and we're just sitting out and just hanging out, vibing, enjoying a nice day. And you can just go do that. Somebody brought their own hammock and set it up between two trees and was just kicking back. And I'm like, you can. It's cold as hell in the Northeast right now. I think DC just got snowed yesterday, and I saw y'all might get another foot of snow. Come on now, what you gonna do with that? What you gonna do with that? Like, so the opportunity to increase and positively take a look at what your MH can be in abroad is such a, you don't even know. That's why we talk about, never mind what you're going through, because I would be a fool to just wake that up in you and just leave you there. But let me tell you about when you get over here, the things that you can do. I've done things in nature here that I never thought I would do ever, let alone in America. I went river rafting. River rafting. I'm from Philadelphia. I'm from the city of Philadelphia. I'm not from the suburbs. I don't know anything about river rafting. And that wasn't it. I didn't know, shout out to James, but I didn't know that signing up for river rafting also meant that I was going to be doing two other things: rivering, which is not river rafting, and caving. So rivering, once we got done river rafting, I'm like, oh, cool. We're going to, go. They said we're going to go to the cave. They didn't tell me we're going to walk through the cave through a river about 3 miles. I'm 6'3". I'm walking through ankle deep water. I'm walking through waist deep water. I'm walking through navel deep water. I'm like, where was this in the guide? But I did it. And then we get in the cave and there's bats in there and they talking to you. I'm like, what did I sign myself up for? I told James, I said, bro, I don't know if I would have did this, if I would have had known all about the rivering and the caving with the bats. He was like, but you had fun, didn't you? And I said, bro, that was probably the most exciting time that I've had in my life outside of like skydiving and stuff, because I didn't even know. Like when I went skydiving, if I knew what I was signing myself up for. I didn't know it was two other activities that I had signed myself up for by signing up for the one. So every time we saw something new, I didn't know what was around the corner. And some of them corners were pitch black. It was literally a pitch black cave, and we were still walking through waist deep water. Wild times. Now, I'm not saying everybody needs to come over here and go do that. That's not what I'm saying. But there are so many other things. I've been paragliding here at 5,000 feet. The city of Medellin at the bottom of my feet. I looked over it. I was seeing a waterfall coming out the side of a mountain. The bottom of my feet, I actually saw a falcon. The top of his head, I was higher than a bird. These are things, when I did them, made me feel alive. I had the ability to do them. I wasn't spending all my money on like just bare needs. So many of you guys travel for your MH. When I don't spend all my money on rent and bare necessities, I can spend my money on travel. Isn't that how that works? Things that can actually better my quality of life. And guess what? From Colombia, I can go to Aruba for like $125. Costa Rica is like $200. You can't get from Miami to New York for not $300-$400. And y'all done did that. Panama, Ecuador, Brazil, Chile, Argentina. I can get to Spain for like $300-$400 from here. España. over there. So many things because I live in Latam, I get a rate that is a Latam rate. I do the comparisons. Same resort, same times. Might be $500 different per person. I synced it. So we talk about your ability to travel more when you do get abroad. Like if travel is a part of your MH and makes you happy and makes you feel fulfilled, that is what you get access to. So what done woke you up and I done told you, yo, this is what you might be going through. This is really might something that you really might be dealing with, that's silently dealing with, but everybody in the room is acting like, are we all good? It's okay not to be okay. What's not okay is not to do anything about it. So if you can't move abroad, you can immediately stop trading all your life for stuff and things. You can immediately stop doing that. Immediately. Go. I tell people, if this is how you do this. Instead of go spending $500 on some outfit that you wear once and people go, oh, you look cute. And then they not want to see you in that for the next couple of weeks or a couple of months. Do this. Open up Airbnb, put your city in, go to experiences, go do some stuff you ain't did in your own city. If you can't move abroad, go do some stuff you can't do in your own city, but stop spending all your money on stuff and things and be like, why I'm not happy? Why I'm sitting here listening to this bald dude that I don't even know for longer than 5 minutes because you're not happy. And somebody talking to y'all. This ain't church, but preach. Like, come on now. Like, am I saying something that's a tall tale? Everything just became normal. We normalized BS and then don't realize why we don't feel fulfilled. Why we see so many people that can't get time back say, I wish I had it. I would have used it more wisely. So the call is on y'all. Y'all don't have to go move abroad to start living a better life. But if you are, be prepared for the unexpected. Maybe not unexpected now, because I done gave you a little bit. And everybody goes through the journey the way they got to go through it. But your best life may not be there. That's why I asked you. America is the best country in the world. For who? Is it for you? Because you are Bob, Jane, Tom, you're whoever you are. How can you live under a blanket statement that has been sold and told before you even born, and you ain't seen the amount of people to make it that they sell that you like everybody gonna have a real good opportunity. So let 2025 be the year that y'all make some sort of change. Whether it is that y'all stay in the United States, or whether it is you go move abroad. But attack your MH like something that you need to wrangle in. Look at the things with real fine lines and say, what have I gotten normalized to that I can cut out of my life that I shouldn't have to deal with? Some of those things in the United States, you're going to have to, and you're going to have to learn how to cope. But plenty of stuff and things you don't have to do. You can immediately stop doing that right now. But when you get out, just make sure you remember this conversation. Make sure you're getting out, touching the people, learning the language, understanding the new cultures, participating in the traditions that they do. You are going to start actually living your best life. Your best life is not popping bottles in Miami in the club, going like this to the new future, to the new what's that? Bend the corner like whoa, no. Come out here, get some culture behind you, get some language, get some community going, get some understanding, because it's not many people that's going to sit on here for 49 minutes and tell you about the struggles that I had. The struggles that we all probably was going through, but nobody was like, yo, if you're going through this, everybody suffer in silence. Enough of that. We need more community. We need to be able to support each other. We need to be able to build up the neighborhood. It's an expat community out here that believes in that. So many of us have actually become real life friends. So many people, because we travel all the time, we're like, oh, well, so-and-so's in Brazil, so you're going to meet her when you get down there because she was just in Medellin. It's like, you find your tribe when you get out of your comfort zone. That's one of the last thing I want to leave y'all with. Get out of your comfort zone. It is time. You've been in the passenger seat in Latin America, drive the car that is your life. Paying them well to have a poor quality of life. Wake up, y'all. I appreciate you guys as always. No, I don't want to take up too much time. I know this is a little heavy topic, but it's a necessary topic. The topic is necessary because you turn on the news and you're immediately inundated with today's tragedies. Then you're just like, dang, that's crazy. The kids is going to school and learning drills that we had the fire drill. That was it. We had to learn how to get to go down the fire escape. These kids are learning completely different tactics than we were. So please make certain that one, y'all come back. I'll be here tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow. Like I said, I'll tell y'all about next week, but I'll be here tomorrow for certain. Next week, we headed to the Bahamas with a group. So that's the first January trip. So I've been telling you guys, we come back around 3:00 p.m. Eastern time. We talk about our group travel calendar, and we talk about some travel things. So we give you guys travel tips, things that you guys actually need to know. There's going to be some ebooks that are coming out. Ebooks some of them are free, some of them are paid, but they're paid because they come with a included trip. Like, you can't go to the place where you're paying for the trip. So you guys are going to be excited for what 2025 has to offer you on this platform. We'll be back here tomorrow. We'll be talking about, we got some travel tips. We finished our calendar for December for 2025. So we're going to go through our travel tips tomorrow. And then Thursday, we'll be right back on. The next time for you to travel with us is in March. So we're getting into the relocation tours, which are in March, as well as our Jamaica trip tomorrow around the 3:00 hour. Then we will be back at 6:30 tomorrow. 6:30 tomorrow is a special time, because it's more of what you need to move abroad. Seriously. We have to cover a number of topics because it's just not one thing that you need. So many people would literally be like, you just need to pick your place and pack your bags and, download this ebook. No. So Wednesday is how to move to Colombia. What guys don't know there, not only is it Colombia, but it's abroad. There are actually 6 actual steps that you have to take. I will tell you to stay at home if you're not willing to take the 6 actual steps. We are going to get into exactly what those 6 steps are tonight, tomorrow, and around the 6:30 hour. That is going to be fun. Make sure you're bringing your pencils, your pens. But the best part is this. Maybe you don't need to do that. You know why? If you guys go right now to movetravelcolombia.com, they already on there. I'm not a gatekeeper. This isn't a paywall. I've just spent almost an hour of my life almost every day the last 2 to 3 months trying to make certain that y'all feel like a little bit comfortable with what's on the horizon. Feel like if you're looking to leave, you have somewhere to land that's given and put the legwork in time. I started planning for this in maybe May of last year because I knew it was a possibility that you guys were going to be in a scenario where you're going to need somebody like me. And I'm not saying I'm the only person, but I'm just saying I knew that Colombia didn't have something that was structured enough to say, hey, you can actually just go to a website in the middle of the night and literally get information. You can go on there and there's an immigration lawyer. My immigration lawyer's number is on there. My realtor's number is on there. My language expert, his number is on there. All people that can go about helping you immediately. You don't have to middleman with me. I'm not going to gatekeep with that. 95% of the actual website is literally free information on what visas you can get here in Colombia. When's the best time to come? Like real information, like never mind this Play-Doh made up stuff that, is for likes and views. If y'all see this, it's 3 people on right now. I have no idea how many people are on the other places, but it only takes one person to hear something that could actually open the mind and change their life. So I'm willing to talk to one person at a time, but I have to go because I'm willing to let you guys go back. Stay warm wherever it is that you guys are, at. Obviously, I'm staying warm for certain. It's like 70 degrees right now. I'm cooling. Tomorrow, like I said, 6 steps on what you need to know and on moving abroad, both to Colombia as well as abroad. These 6 steps can take you anywhere around the world. You're going to need to do them. We will not let you end up in Africa like Nas said in Belly. We're going to make sure that if you're going to Africa, you're going to know where you go and you got some resources because we got folks already in Africa waiting for you. So make sure y'all tap in, turn these notifications on, whatever platform it is. Make sure you are following. Share this with somebody. Let them know somebody is on live all of the time, Monday through Friday, unless we traveling, giving us real information. And then can already put the resources together to make certain that I don't stumble out the gate and don't have a good time. So thank you as always. My name is RJ, and I appreciate you. We'll see you guys mañana.